Technology Today Thought Leadership Interview Series. I'm Vicki Castori, editor of Packaging Technology Today. Today, Ken Major is joining me. Ken is the Northeast Regional Sales Manager for Common North America. We're going to be discussing how packaging equipment can be designed to work in factories embracing total productive maintenance, or TPM for short. Thank you for joining us, Ken.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having us, Vicki.
Yes, thanks. I really appreciate you coming and sharing your expertise. So to start, can you just tell us a little bit about Kama?
Yeah, so Kama, we provide packaging equipment, secondary packaging, some robotic handling and loading of primary packaging through to cart loading and case packing. So that's the area that we play in. We really focus on higher speed, 24/7 type solutions.
And there's no question that companies want to achieve the highest efficiency from their equipment. There's a concept for the production floor called total productive maintenance that strives to achieve these efficiencies, or TPM. Can you tell us a little bit about what PPM does?
Absolutely. TPM, which is really short for total productive maintenance, it's really an approach of how personnel and the production floor runs and what they do to achieve perfect production. The implementation of TPM creates a shared responsibility between the equipment and encourages a greater involvement by the plant floor workers. The goal is really to have zero breakdowns, no small stops, really not have the machine slow down, and really eliminate defects. And we measure, I guess, success of a TPM program is really looking at overall equipment efficiency. We'll abbreviate it as OEE. And in the right environment, TPM can be very effective at raising the productivity of the equipment.
Great. And how does a company create the right environment?
So I like to refer to TPM simply as maybe paying attention to the little details. If we can do one thing that affects maybe 1% better efficiency, and you do that 15 times, you could have 50% higher efficiency. And there is a role that the machine builder can have in this, because this is really about how they run the production floor. But the key is that there is no TPM compliant design for a piece of equipment. What a company needs to do is realize that an operator runs the machine. Many companies believe they're building this perfect machine that can do exactly everything. But if they don't give a thought to what an operator's role is and how they interact with the machine, you're not going to get that efficiency. And at Kama, we've been working for the past 20 years on our machines with a focus on TPM. And I'm going to share some examples of this TPM stuff. I do need to share that when I normally do this talk, I have PowerPoint slides as a nice visual. So I'm going to try and share these concepts with you just verbally. But again, it's very visual. So one example is just as simple as color coding. Everything in our machine is color coded: the wires, the pneumatics, the pressure gauges. Pressure gauge is a perfect example. Usually, you have a dial with numbers, and it gets cloudy over time. You can't really see it, especially me with someone who wears glasses, right? But so we color code it. You got red and green. You can just see if the dial is in the right place. And there are lots of things that affect that to make it easy for the operator to interact. And another example is like changeover of a machine. If it takes a long time, I mean, we've installed equipment. We typically say that we can do a changeover in under 15 minutes. And we've replaced equipment that takes 2 hours to do that. And it's really about the process. It's understanding that you have an operator has to go through this process. Everything is color coded. Everything can put it in the right place. We even have gone as far as taken RFID tags and put it on every change part. So now when you put a change part on the machine knows that it has the right component. You don't get that mistakes of a machine jamming because the wrong parts are on it. So these are just a few small examples of TPM on the machine design.
These are all great ideas for a changeover. And are there any other examples of what to do when a machine stops due to a jam?
So certainly, I mean, jams happen, right? We all know that. We've tried to build the perfect machine. We deal a lot with corrugated product and a machine jam. So TPM, really, you need to focus on the recovery time and what it means. We focus on we have an open line of sight to all points of the machine. We pay attention to all these access points, making sure that everything was in reach, everything is ergonomic. And we go so far as at Comma, when we deliver a machine, before we deliver, we actually bring in a third-party organization, and they do a kind of a certification of the machine. They'll go and check all the access points and the safety and the ergonomics to make sure that we've really paid attention to it. Another example, I guess the best way to talk about this is, I'll give it one machine example. We have an Enload cartoner. So you open up the carton and you push in the product. Most people have a big piece of mechanism on the outside that's pushing into the machine. And anyone that has had the pleasure of trying to reach in there and clear jam realize that you can't have, there's no access, you can't reach it. And in a TP environment, that's just not acceptable. So what we've done at Comma to avoid this problem is we've taken that pusher and we've mounted it overhead. So when the machine stops, that mechanism lifts up 18 inches. So everything is accessible, you can reach it. And it's throughout the whole machine. So it's really, it's paying attention to the little details. It's paying attention and realizing that operators have to get into the machine, they have to get in there and reach it. And that's some short examples of the type of things that we've been doing that a machine builder can do to really use the operator as part of that process.
This is great from an operations perspective. And then what about maintenance teams' interaction with the machine? How does TPM blend production and maintenance?
Oh, that's a great question, Vicki. We talked about the operators cleaning jams, but it's also critical for maintenance. Maintenance has to be able to get in there. I think every person watching this video has had the experience of having to get into a machine and take the whole thing apart to get to a bolt, right? Because they build they build the machine on top of each other and bury things in there, and they don't think about the fact that, hey, this machine's going to be running 15, 20 years. You're going to need to be able to get in there. So at Comma, we really do try and pay attention to the stuff and realize that everything needs to be accessible. And again, it's that small detail. It's not just working on those unforeseen maintenance work that you have to do. There's other things on the maintenance stuff that are involved with preventative maintenance. So a perfect example, I love this example. Every maintenance program says, check the gearbox every 6 months, right? And the gearbox has a cover and you need a tool. And I don't think any company on the production floor, they actually go and take the cover off and take a look at that. So at Comma, we don't want to just put something on the list and say, hey, we checked off the box. Yes, we put it there. We understand you're not going to do it, but we did our job by putting it on the list. So what's TPM? TPM is saying we want the preventative maintenance work to be done. So what do we need to do to make that happen? So our gearbox is clear. You don't have to take the cover off. We know that a clear box, someone will take the time and just visually inspect it. And along that same TPM concept, within that is a tensioning bar, and the tensioning bar has red and green. So if your tensioning is in the wrong place, it's in the red, you can just visually inspect and see this machine is not in tension, this conveyor is not in tension. And we give that visual, and it's a great solution and really a nice example. But we didn't just stop there with preventative maintenance. We at Comma have released what we call predictive maintenance. We have a fully servo machine. And because we have all this information, we have the torque, we have the current draws, we have all the information of the movements, we could actually predict a problem. If a motor is drawing more current, it's getting a little bit hotter, we can predict a problem, and we provide that predictive information again to help keep the machine up and avoid unintended stops. And that's the type of things we're doing with this digital environment and information to try and help our customers.
Is there anything else Comma's doing to bring our ever-growing technology to the production floor?
Absolutely, that's another great question. People have heard of like Industry 4.0. It's taking this digital technology and bringing it to the floor. So we talked about that predictive maintenance that we're doing, but Comma has done something very unique that I'd like to share, and it's what we call augmented reality. So everyone knows the goggles and you have virtual reality. So virtual augmented reality is taking information and overlaying it onto something in front of you. So we're not replacing it, we're overlaying on it. So we at Comma, we've taken that technology and overlaid onto the machine the operator and maintenance manual. So again, if you go to our website, you can see a video of this. But what we've done is, like, let's say a changeover. We can take a changeover and an operator will take a pad, like an iPad, and we'll hold it in front of the machine and it will walk them through the changeover. It will say 0.1 on the machine. And as you walk around, it'll take you right to that point. And then you can hit buttons and actually play videos and get all the information of exactly how you have to do a changeover. And this is game changing because in today's environment where there's a lot of turnover of personnel and operators, the biggest hit that they see efficiency on the floor is really on the changeover, because you've got new employees who have no understanding of how to run this machine, and it takes them hours to do what should be a 15-minute changeover. I can hand that tablet to somebody who has never seen the machine, and they can make a changeover because it's that augmented reality. We're giving them the tools and exactly how to do it while they're standing in front of the machine, when they're standing right in front of it saying, grab that bolt, grab that thing and unlock it. It gives them a little video exactly what they're doing, and they can watch the video and undo it and do that changeover. And it's not just with the operators. We also put the maintenance thing. So the maintenance people have all those tools as well. Where the loop points, how do I tension? All that stuff is right there at their fingertips at the machine. And again, it's along with our 20-year investment to try and make TPM, to make our equipment the highest efficiency equipment on the marketplace. This is just another tool along it. And we're excited about the reception that we've got from the industry on this. And we at Comma will continue to do things and take our customers' feedback to make it a better process.
I think that's fascinating. And just the whole concept of human machine interface, or HMI, is really going to take the industry to a whole new place in the next few years. So it's fascinating to hear what CAMA is doing to embrace technology and to embrace the way that the next generation thinks and researches and works. It's really a fascinating conversation that we've been having. Do you have any other tips about TPM or advice that you'd like to share with our audience?
When you work with a machine builder, just make sure that they're putting in that effort to integrate in the operator into the process, that you've got the easy access, that you've got the visual pieces. It makes a big difference. I mean, I have seen our equipment over the past 7 years that I've been with Comma, and I put equipment in, and our customers are coming back and saying this concept of TPM is making the Comma equipment have a higher efficiency than other lines. And so it makes a difference. And I know a lot of companies are out there are really embracing TPM. And I really think it is the future of where we can be more competitive in the US with our manufacturing.
It's really fascinating. Once again, you've been listening to Ken Major, Northeast Regional Sales Manager with CAMA North America. This has been such an insightful conversation, Ken. Thank you for sharing your expertise with us and our viewers. And I hope to talk to you again soon, hopefully about human-machine interface.
Thank you so much, Vicki. Have a great day.
Thank you. To learn more about Comma, please go to their website at www.commagroup.com. That's www.commagroup.com. You can find this thought leadership interview and more packaging insights at packagingtechtoday.com. Thanks for listening.